we're going to be talking about beauty and skincare. And before we begin with your demo, I just wanted to thank you because you sent me these wonderful products. You sent me a hydrating grapefruit body lotion.
Yes.
And a brightening facial oil.
Yes.
And Sheer Genius conditioning lipstick. And this one looks so cute. It's Jelly's lip gloss, and it says caramel. So I'm really excited about all these things. And later on, I'm going to show you because I actually do use a lot of the products that and I'm going to show people that later on if we have a chance. But I don't want to keep going with all these products. I want everybody to see what you're going to be doing. So
I'm excited. I love that you already love the clean beauty movement. That's what we're here to talk about today. And like Amy said, we're going to kind of go over, we might get a little serious later on, or really right now while I'm doing my demo. But I wanted to get the demo out of the way so that you guys can understand that just because you switch over to safer personal care, safer beauty, you don't have to sacrifice performance. And that is something that I have learned over the last 8+ years that I've been into clean beauty and just understanding what that even means, which we can kind of go over. And I also think it's really fun to learn. Here's a fun fact. I actually was supposed to go to cosmetology school. That was what it said, like on my high school graduation day, that I was going to go to cosmetology school.
Right? That's the first.
Yeah. Instead, I turned the corner and started study. I studied exercise science instead, and got into my Pilates certification. And I did not wear makeup, nor did I really even have any skin regimen. And now, fast forward, I'm in the beauty industry. I'm in the lifestyle wellness mentor, the lifestyle wellness industry still, but using clean products on your skin is all part of that. And a lot of us just don't know about it. We don't know that, we don't just have to put olive oil on our skin to moisturize our face. We can find things that actually can slow down aging and help us glow and help us feel confident and work at the same time, plus be eco-friendly and safer. So we'll talk all about that. But you can feel free to ask me questions as I'm going, Amy. I'm going to show you what I do, like on a normal basis, if I were to show up on camera. Right now, I'm completely barefaced, and also just kind of a daily routine that I do use, and the value that I've learned through that process.
And I also want to encourage our green warriors that are watching and listening. If you have a question, type it in the comments and we'll ask Stacey also. So now something on your face. What is that?
I am slathering on the Lipid Defense Cleansing Oil. So people might not be aware that you can actually cleanse your face with an oil. So this is actually a liquidy substance, and it is a beautiful, I should really have my headband on right now. I'm like regretting this. Oh, well, I don't care. Might get in my hair a little bit, but I love this because it has Swiss Alpine rose oil in it. And those roses, grow like at the top of the Alpine mountains, and they're super, super hardy roses, and they are packed with vitamin C, and rose hips and rose petals are so good for your skin to help brighten and give you that glow. And it also has an ingredient called bakuchiol, which is an Ayurvedic herb that people have been using for centuries for anti-aging properties, and it mimics retinol. So it gives you the effects that retinol would give you without the potential irritation. So dermatologists are recommending bakuchiol, and I use this, you can call it, it's not called an anti-aging line, it's called counter time line. So we're trying to counter the time a little bit with this bakuchiol ingredient, and dermatologists recommend it left and right. Dr. Jessica Krant has talked about it.
I've had her on the show, yeah.
She's amazing. So, she finds success with her patients with it, and
she advocates the plant-based lifestyle also. So
she absolutely does, and that's one of the big things that gets your skin to glow, also from the inside out. And anybody that wants to email me later on, I can send you my my course called Get the Glow Up. So you can learn more about how to not just get the glow up from the outside in, but from the inside out as well. Just a little bonus for your listeners, Amy. But so
and
I
we'll have
wash my
your
face. Yeah.
contact information in the show notes so that
Oh,
people
great.
get
Yeah.
to
Pop that in there.
you're already
So
glowing.
yeah, for sure. We all want to glow. Now, this cleansing oil I use day and night. If I wash or if I go in the shower, I don't worry about bringing it into the shower with me. But this is my facial my facial cleanser. And I love that it's an oil because as I age, I'm 38 right now, but honestly, I started seeing major changes in my skin around 32 and didn't get actually serious about using a regimen until about 6 years ago. And some people can get away with nothing at all or a very simple regimen. But for me, I actually found I got great results from following some steps for my skincare. So for people who are bare minimum, I think having a good cleanser and a really solid moisturizer is absolutely like bare minimum for really good skin. If you want to take it up a notch, I'll show you what I do. I add 2 more steps in between the cleanser and the moisturizer. So cleansers, we all know, are very important, but the cleansing oil doesn't strip your natural sebum, which is the oil in your skin that keeps you looking youthful. So it doesn't strip that. It just takes the dirt away and leaves your natural sebum, plus gives you a little bit more from the herbs and stuff that's in it. So I do that. Then I do 2 more steps in between that before the moisturizer. So I use this. This is called the Essence. Now, I'm sure that you guys have all heard of toners. This is exactly the same step that you would use a toner in, but this is an Essence. It's actually a little bit more moisturizing and less astringent than a toner. But you know, the brand that I'm talking about mostly today also has toners. I'm going to show you some other clean beauty brands too, but most of the things I'm using today are from Beauty Counter. I've been advocating and a partner with Beauty Counter, an affiliate with Beauty Counter for almost 8 years. And so Amy, I'm sure we'll talk about if you guys need any help, I can help you with that. But this Essence, it takes the place of a toner step. And what these toners and essences do is actually prepare your skin for serum. So it kind of balances the pH of your skin, which creates a foundation for serums to go on and to do their job better. And if you need a toner, that can balance your pH if you have excessively oily skin, but I don't. I have more combo dry skin. And this Essence is more moisturizing for me, and I just really appreciate it. It also has the bakuchiol in it, and I am doing all the things to make sure that I look youthful. I'm totally will admit that I'm a vain person, and I do like to look pretty. So I'm doing all the things. So I do that.
There are people in your life that you want to look pretty for also.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It helps me and my confidence in the way that I show up. And then also I feel better in, you know, being around the people that I'm influencing when they're, you know, when I'm taking care of myself and when I go the extra mile. So I put the Essence on. That's my second step. And then I go in with the serums. Now, serums are the true, quote, medicine for your face. These are the things that are actually results driven. Now, a good moisturizer is going to give you hydration. It's going to help fill in those little fine lines and wrinkles over time. But the serums actually have the most potent ingredients in them. So every single day, I am using a C serum, a vitamin C serum of some sort on my skin. And then at night, I might use the Counter Time serum, the same family of skincare that I have been showing you. This is the anti-aging line, if you will, that I absolutely love. And it's in glass bottles, which makes it so much more eco-friendly. So is the All Bright C serum. It's in a glass bottle. Very important. We're going to talk all about that. But a lot of beauty brands, they don't care so much about, they care more about the bottom line than they do about safety, eco-consciousness, and, well, results. They care more about the bottom line. I mean, the beauty industry is very largely unregulated. We'll talk about that. But anyway, sorry, we were going to talk about that later, but I'm going to get through this demo.
It's good that we're giving some people an idea of other things that are coming up too. So
yeah. Yes. So the serums are the ones that are the products, the ingredients that give your skin the glow. They actually, again, are much more results driven. So I right here have a vitamin C serum. This is amazing. And it has turmeric in it. So it literally comes out golden. I'm going to try to figure out where my camera is. There we go. And show you. It's bright yellow. So this actually helps your skin not only get an instant glow, but also over time really pack in those antioxidants. So turmeric, as we all know, is really great to ingest, but it's also good to put on your skin topically. And so is vitamin C. Vitamin C is one of those crucial ingredients that is good for you internally and on the skin. And this particular serum has 2 different stable forms of vitamin C, plus turmeric, plus camu, which is a super berry. It's also known as the youth berry. And you can actually put camu powder in your smoothies. It's really popular as like a superfood powder in a lot of different formulations. So that's a fun fact. I love using serums. Sometimes I'll just use 2 serums and I won't even use a moisturizer. But this is my 4th step of a skincare regimen. Again, some people are just wash their face and put a moisturizer on. But as we age, I think honestly, layering up some serums can really behoove us and give us better results. So the last step for me is a moisturizer, whether it's the nighttime or it's the daytime. I'm always putting a moisturizer on. Now, daytime, mostly people are wearing something that's a little bit more light. And then at night creams, if you're actually getting a specific cream for the night, they're thicker because that's when your skin, just like your body, does its repair. And we do actually dehydrate in the middle of the night. We lose water, and the nighttime is a good time to put on the heavier creams so that you can really get your skin to absorb it and not to lose too much moisture. And there's a new cream called water ceramide cream. It's amazing. It's as thick as, you know, the blizzards that we all used to eat. And it's really bouncy. It's very light, and I will, you know, switch my moisturizers because, of course, I do this. I have a lot of the moisturizers in the clean beauty space, but this is the newest one, and I really love it. It has a very, very, very soft smell. I think it's tangerine, or clementine. It's just essential oils, super light, like very, very light. Barely smell it, but it's nice and fresh, and it holds its weight in water. So it really like pulls the moisture in and gives you instant plumping, but also over time, they have shown 8 and 10 week results. It's pretty cool.
You really didn't seem to use very much of that product.
Oh, no. And that's the cool part about using high performing or high, you know, higher end. I will be frank, like the brand that I'm showing you, most of the things that I'm using today are more expensive than what you would find at Target, right? But they're not as expensive as like a $300 cream like La Mer brand, which is literally $300 for a jar that's like half this size. And that has toxins in it that a lot of people would avoid if they knew that those ingredients were in there, right? And so that's a beautiful thing. If you're using a high performing product, I think, you know, when it comes to food and when it comes to products that I buy, I don't shy away from the things that actually cost a little more, because typically you don't have to use as much. They're better quality, right? So, I mean, my makeup, my skincare, my sunscreen, it lasts a long time because just a tiny bit goes a long way. And you do not need to use a ton of stuff. There are a lot of products out on the shelves that have tons of water in them, and you have to use a lot to get any type of moisture, right? I used to buy body lotion and hand creams, and like I would just never get that moisture that I need because it was all just diluted down.
Yeah.
So that was a really good point that you made. Yeah.
And you want to know, can you use these products on your neck?
Like 100%. And I was just going to say, yes, I do usually do my serums and my moisturizers. If I had a different shirt on, I would put it here, like on the décolleté, or that's fancy for your chest.
Yes, I like what you said.
Yeah. And so some people, they're avid sunscreen wearers. I get that 100%. I am a sunscreen wearer on my face and on my chest. The rest of my body, I do allow to absorb ample amounts of vitamin D because I'm not always outside. I don't live in Florida. If I did live in Florida, I'd probably wear SPF more often. But I do my skincare here because this is where most sun damage happens to a lot of people. So
Yeah.
I see a lot of women, right? Like they have nice clear complexions on their face, maybe because they've gotten dermatological treatments or worn SPF on their face for a long time because they've been told by the dermatologist that if they want to avoid sunspots, they need to do that. But they're forgetting about their chest. And I definitely have lots of little sun, freckles and stuff on my chest because I used to worship the sun, and I had the sun and tanning beds, and whoa, I did a lot of damage to my skin, but now I know better.
Yeah.
And
there's actually a book titled "I Hate My Neck." So,
oh God.
I wear sunscreen. I'm in the Southwest, but so I apply sunscreen on my face and my décolleté and I do it even if I don't plan on going outside, because maybe I might wind up going outside, and I'm not going to go through the trouble of doing that. So I'm just this way. I'm ready to go. But
exactly.
When I do that, I think about the name of that book, and I say, I'm not going to hate my neck.
That is hilarious. And another thing that we can do to keep our neck looking more youthful is to use a gua sha tool, which I do go over in my little mini video course called Get the Glow Up that you guys can have. But this is a jade stone, and they make all different shapes and different stone materials of gua sha, but gua sha is actually a technique that you can use. I use our vitamin C facial oil. So that facial oil, Amy, that I sent you, I use that oil and I will put it on my skin so that it can just swipe easily across my face. Yes, I use that oil. And I will use this tool to get the lymph, to get a lot of us, some people get puffy, especially if we're eating excess sodium, we're not moving our body on a normal basis, maybe our detoxification pathways are a little bit gunked up. The doing gua sha can help. So this is just a beauty tactic that you glide this stone across your face, up kind of toward your ear and jawline, and then down to drain the lymphatic. And you can use gua sha on your neck as well. And what this does is stimulates blood flow, which stimulates collagen production. And I know that everybody is there's all the rage of collagen, all the collagen out there. And I'm I can't promote that, guys. It's like liquid bones. I can't do that. So we're going to create our own collagen by eating lots of vitamin C rich foods. We're going to do gua sha. You can get into facial oil and strengthen the neck muscles so that things don't sag as much. There's all these things that we can do, right, outside of our daily regimen of good skincare, good cosmetics, and good food and good water, right? So anyways, speaking of SPF, I will throw this on. This is the Counter Sun. I want to talk about sunscreen because sunscreen is in this wild west of the beauty industry. Woohoo! It's one of the dirtiest products that can be out there on the shelf. There are sunscreens, chemical sunscreens, and not all chemicals are bad, guys. I'm not here to say all chemicals are bad because there are safer chemicals out there. So I hate to say, oh, it's chemical free. Water's a chemical. You can't say that. But the chemical sunscreens that are not physical, which I'll explain to you, they are typically packed with carcinogenic ingredients. And then you go out in the sun with these carcinogenic ingredients on that could potentially amplify in the sun. It's just crazy backwards. And now that we can know this, we can avoid these chemical sunscreens. So things like avobenzone, oxybenzone, anything that ends with benzone, we don't want to be buying. And I highly suggest that you go to Mamavation. So here's a tip, mamavation.com. She creates amazing lists of safer products, whether it's skincare, cosmetics, cooking products, cooking, utensils, all that stuff. She breaks it down, gives them grades, if you will, and kind of, says, here are the safest, here are safer, and then here are the least safe. And all those chemical sunscreens out there, I just want to encourage everybody to avoid. And I am not here to say that I am perfectly non-toxic. Like, I get my hair highlighted. I do things. I don't live a completely non-toxic lifestyle. It's impossible to do so in today's world. And I don't think that this is about perfection. I think that if we can make safer choices, especially when it comes to things that we might be putting on our children, things that, we're bringing into our household and not knowing have chemicals that could be harmful in them, we will avoid them if we can. And if we can find safer, high-performing things, we will, right? So this is just one of the sunscreens out of the whole sunscreen family, which has been on the Today Show. Counter Sun has been on the Today Show. It is so high-performing and works really well, and it's made of zinc oxide. Now, here's the deal, guys. When you're out shopping for sunscreen, regardless if you're buying Beauty Counter or not, Amy has it. It's a really good facial sunscreen.
See how it's squished in?
Yeah, she's using it. She's using it. It goes on white, as you saw when I put it on, but then it rubs right in. And that's something for like a lot of mineral sunscreens that doesn't happen. You usually have a nice white cast and it stays white. But this also it's made with California poppy flower petals, and that actually blocks against blue light too. So blue light comes from the sun, it comes from the sky, but it also comes from our electronics. And very, very, very minimal people know this, but actually our screens can age our skin. The blue light from our screens can age our skin. Isn't that crazy?
So I'm glad that I told you.
So again, like Amy was saying, even if you don't go outside and you're exposing yourself to screens all day, you might want to put a blue light blocker on your face. But the zinc oxide, here's the deal, guys. You can find other brands that have safer sunscreen. Now, 8 years ago when this launched, or 9 years ago, whatever, this face one is newer. But the body one, when it came out, there was not other safer sunscreens that did not leave you literally like as white as Casper. They were just not on the market. And Beauty Counter really paved the way. Beauty Counter truly is like the leader in clean, and most clean brands are looking at Beauty Counter like what ingredients is Beauty Counter blocking or banning? Why are they banning it, and what can we use to kind of mimic what they're doing? That's what beauty brands are doing, and that's awesome, because our whole mission is to get safer products into the hands of everyone, regardless if people are buying products from me or from anybody that's sharing Beauty Counter. Like, if there's other clean brands, that means we as consumers are winning, and we are demanding safer, and the whole market should shift to a safer place eventually. So now there's some sunscreens out there that are made with zinc and, zinc and another mineral they're all physical sunscreens now. Like, there's a lot of mineral sunscreens. Now you have to be careful, because not all mineral sunscreens are created equally. Some have fragrances in them, which we can talk about, which I would avoid. But this is a non-nano zinc. So not all physical sunscreens or mineral sunscreens are actually the best, because they are so small. The particle is so small that it can actually get into your bloodstream. And a lot of people are not wanting to have some of these minerals that they're putting on topically to get in. Okay. So you don't want to have too much. So non-nano zinc is what you should look for. There are other non-nano zincs out there, but Beauty Counter honestly works the best. It works the best. So that's what I have on my face. And yes, I should have put it on my neck, but I don't want to get it on my t-shirt. So I do that. Sunscreen, that's a typical thing for me. If people are looking for something that has a tint to it, just FYI, if people are interested in buying Beauty Counter after learning today, there's something called Dew Skin. It's in a different package now, but it's tinted. So it has the tinted effect of kind of like makeup. It gives you, like, people call it a filter for your face. So it gives you a little bit of coverage, but it also gives you SPF that is non-nano zinc oxide. It's very lovely and very, very popular. So it has peony root extract in there, which helps your skin too. So very lovely. Now, Amy, I'm going to get into makeup, and I want to make this like a simple makeup look. I'm not going to put a primer on, but some people who like really go through the whole like makeup like thing on a normal basis, or they really want their makeup to look good, they use primers. And I didn't use a primer before Beauty Counter came out with it. I just got it because I wanted to give it a go. And obviously I like it. This has jojoba bead esters in it. So even if you wear makeup or not, this is something that people could look into as a moisturizer because it actually just hydrates your skin. It's really effective. And if people do wear makeup, primers do help the makeup last longer. So if you're somebody that goes to a 9 to 5 or they want their makeup to last all day, primers do help. They pull moisture in. They keep foundations from looking cakey and dry at the end of the day. And they're really awesome. So this is a serum and a primer in one. But it's in a beautiful glass bottle again. You want to make sure that if you're going to buy clean beauty, that the packaging is somewhat responsible, not only for the earth, but also because typically the softer the plastic, the more likely there are chemicals in there called phthalates that can disrupt your hormones, kind of act as xenoestrogens, if you will, outside hormone disruptors that we don't want. So this is one reason why we don't drink water out of plastic water bottles. Like we try not to, right? Not to say I go to the gas station sometimes when I'm really thirsty and I don't have my bottle. Like it's happened, right? Totally imperfect over here, but I will say I went to the gas station just a few days ago, and now they have metal bottles, which I was really excited about, or glass, which I was thankful for that. But anywho, we know we don't want the plastics leaching into our water, right? For multiple reasons. We don't want the plastics leaching into our products. And that is something that I don't know any other clean beauty brands that are doing, actually testing and using materials as packaging that like responsibly that don't leach into the nice formulations themselves. That's just one thing to know. So glass is always best. Or if you're using plastics, look for post-consumer recycled plastics or even compostable materials, which I know are coming out in the clean beauty industry soon. So anyway, on to makeup. Again, you could prime your skin if you wanted to, but I'm going to do something called Flawless in 5. And if anybody has questions while you're watching this, just let me know. I use foundation.
I have a question about that Mona had, but I didn't know if you wanted me to wait for you to be done. But if you're asking for questions, Mona said, what can be done with a dark area above the upper lip? Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not a dermatologist, but I will tell you there are some things you can do. Definitely making sure that you wear SPF on it every time you're anywhere near the sun is going to be one of the best things that you can do. But there are products out there that actually do help to fade dark spots over time. Just like anything, when we want results, we need to be consistent with it. So that is the key. And that is, I will tell you what changed my skin. It took me 6 months to a year of consistent daily skin regimen to reverse my melasma. I had terrible melasma. Definitely had dark spots and pigmentation. There are some things you can do though. Exfoliating on a normal basis will help. So you can do exfoliation in a lot of different ways. You can do physical exfoliation by using little bamboo particles to slough off dead skin. You can use acid, like fruit. This is a fruit acid peel. You could use peels. This is 15 botanical acids. This is what I used to reverse my melasma plus the counter time that I use, that skincare regimen that I use. This is called the overnight peel. You can use this every night if your skin is fine with it. It's not an irritating peel and it doesn't literally you don't see your skin peeling off, but it does gently exfoliate your skin with botanical acids. And you can use this every day for 6 months at least to help renew the skin. There's also things that you can use that have vitamin C in them to help spot reduce. And Beauty Counter did just come out with a spot reducing vitamin C.
And I have not used it. I didn't even buy it because thankfully I don't have any dark spots that I'm super concerned with. I do want to experiment on my chest with it this winter because, again, I do have some dark spots. And I think that the winter is the best time, especially if you're living somewhere where you're not going to be exposing your chest to the sun. Or I'm sorry, you can't, your face, like anything that you're trying to reverse. You wear a hat, you use vitamin C, spot reducers, and you exfoliate. Those are my 3 things that I would do if you really want to reverse that. And again, after you do reverse it, which you will if you take the time and you're really consistent with it, it will take time. Everybody is different, but protecting from the sun will make sure that it doesn't get darker and darker. That's like key. So that's my tip on that.
Okay.
And I'll keep answering questions while I put my foundation on. So let me throw that on. This is the Skin Twin Foundation. This has hyaluronic acid in it, which is in a lot of skin products. That Mighty Plump cream that I used today has hyaluronic acid in it. And again, it holds its weight in water times, I don't know how much, a lot, okay? And it just keeps the skin hydrated. So it's kind of like skincare and makeup in one. This is not a full coverage wedding day makeup unless you use it, layer it, right? This is a medium coverage, breathable, buildable foundation. And I put it on to a wet sponge. I use something called the Better Blender sponge. This is a sponge made out of more sustainable materials than the Better blenders or beauty blenders that you can buy like at Sephora and stuff like that. And I love it. I just put it under the water and it doubles in size and it gets really fluffy like this. And that actually pushes the makeup onto your skin versus sucking into a dry sponge. So I love to use a beauty blender. You could totally use your hands to apply foundation. Just always make sure that you have clean hands or clean brushes to spread your makeup on. But I love how this just hydrates my skin at the same time as me applying it. So another, sustainable material type thing, which I think is cool in the beauty world. Sorry if I interrupted you, Amy. I just wanted to say something.
We're making it flow.
Oh, yeah.
Danielle said, what do you recommend for dark circles under the eyes?
Yeah. Well, I'm not a doctor. I like to preface my answers. I'm not a doctor, but personally, I have struggled with dark circles under my eyes for my whole life. Some of that can be genetic. We have the thinnest skin underneath our eyes, and our eyes are organs, and they carry a lot of blood vessels. So we can absolutely have a lot of blood showing through that thin skin, right? But what I found is the more fruits and vegetables that I eat, and the more hydrated I keep my skin, the less prominent my under eye circles are, and the more liver supporting foods that I eat, like onions and cruciferous vegetables, and I even do castor oil packs, like on my liver. Like I do things to support my liver, and liver is under eye circles can absolutely be linked with liver. So I would look at liver supporting foods, liver supporting fruits and vegetables, staying hydrated. And then of course, if you're having wrinkles and puffiness, get a good serum or an under eye cream. So if I hate to admit it, but I really have been avoiding eye creams. I'm like, I will never need an eye cream. I'm fine. It's fine. But even this summer, I was just chatting with somebody on Facebook about it. Like, I feel like my under eyes are getting quite wrinkly, and it's pretty annoying to me. So, the under eye cream, that Counter Time, this is what I would recommend, the pink bottle under eye cream, okay? If you need a product, it's a very light, breathable eye cream. But I will tell you something that I learned from a Hollywood cosmetic makeup artist. Her name is Christy Coleman. She's amazing. Everybody needs to go follow her on Instagram. she formulated so much of Beauty Counter's cosmetics. She has been in the, she does, Hollywood people's makeup for the red carpet. And she's been in LA formulating for most of her life. Now she lives in Texas with her family. But she taught me, when it comes to applying an eye cream, to use your finger, your pinky finger or your ring finger, because these are the fingers that have the least amount of pressure. And when we're working with our eyes, we want to use a little bit of product and a little bit of force. We don't want to be rubbing, which just creates more wrinkles. So you put a little bit of eye cream right here around your orbital bone, which you can palpate, you can feel. And she takes it in a C. So under the eye on the orbital bone, and then all the way around. And then the heat of your eye actually pulls the product into where it needs to go. So that's just a hot tip. So when you're applying your eye cream, make sure you're not rubbing really hard, but that you're pressing and patting, and you're going all the way around, because we have those crow feet and stuff like that. And when you put those, eye creams, I hate to admit it, and I was really reluctant to a lot of this for so long. I was like, I just need one moisturizer and it's fine. But truly, there are specific ingredients in specific products that actually give you specific results. Like there are more tightening herbs and roots that are put in eye creams because they tighten, and there's a lot of wrinkly skin around there. So, an eye cream or a good serum, really just make sure you're getting it in there, product wise. But of course, there's lifestyle things we can do too, like the gua sha.
I've been using the eye cream.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Okay. So, and
now I have the instructions so I can do it more efficiently.
Yes. Now you can do it more effectively. And it doesn't say that on the bottle, but that's just what I learned from her. Yeah. And, there's a lot of tips and little things that actually do make a difference when it comes to putting your makeup on and using products. I think that if you want to get into good skincare, just make sure you follow some people and get the tips, because they do make a difference. So, and you don't want to waste your money. You want to get the best results, that you can with the products that you buy. So, Amy,
do you have a cover up for the?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm going to next. My favorite cosmetic.
Dark circles, but for what we can't eliminate, the rest.
For what we can't eliminate, we use concealer. This is my favorite. I think this is my favorite thing out of makeup ever. Now today my eye circles don't look that bad. I'm actually pretty impressed. I must have overly hydrated yesterday, but I also did use a castor oil pack yesterday on my liver, and I'm just gonna give some value to that. But I love this concealer. I have been using this concealer for the last 7 years since it's been out on the market, and it has not grassroot in it. So this concealer is the same ingredients. It has hyaluronic acid. It has other tightening ingredients in it. But it feels so light, and it doesn't cake in our wrinkles. So what I do is I put on my concealer, and I have to speed this makeup demo up because I'm just chatting. But I know that this looks crazy. And look, there's a lot of different ways to put concealer on. Most women, not most, but some women take the applicator of this Skin Twin concealer, which is amazing, and they will just dot. They'll go dot, 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 right across that lower orbital bone. I just kind of color. And what I do, so there's really not a wrong way to do it. You can start, but what I do is I focus on the inner corners of my eyes, because that's where a lot of us have our shadows. And I work my way out and I blend that way. But while I'm waiting for that to kind of set, which is another tip that I learned from Christy Coleman, when you put your concealers on, they kind of oxidize. So you just want to kind of let them change color while, under the eye or wherever you're putting it. Just put it on. Don't blend it right away. Let it set for, 5-10 seconds, and then move on with the rest of your makeup. Some people will put on concealer on the eyelid That's another thing that can really help brighten your eye, especially if you don't wear eyeshadow, or you don't want to wear eyeshadow on that day. Or if you do want to wear eyeshadow, putting a concealer on your eye will really help build a primer so that your eyeshadow stays on longer and looks better. It's like using a white canvas of a painting. It's nice and clear. There's no imperfections or discoloration from our veins and stuff like that. So putting in a concealer on the eyelid is really awesome. Now, while I'm waiting for that to oxidize, and then I'll blend it in, I use the brow gel. So this is a brow gel, something that I had to get used to because I was using a brow pencil before. Now, my tip for applying this brow gel is to go backwards. And this was from a fellow beauty counter advocate who is a makeup artist. She was showing us that if we go from the tail of our brow, which I don't have a lot of hair, I don't. I fully admit I have microblading done, but I do still have hair on my brows. And when you go backwards like that, it creates a more fluffy brow. And a lot of women are afraid to have a fluffy brow because it seems as though there's like brow trends. I never follow trends. I follow what looks best on my face. And most people look better with a brow of some sort, right? And when you use some sort of brow product, it frames your face and it creates a more open looking eye. Now the gel you can push onto your skin and let it kind of act like a pencil, or you can just simply use it like you would a mascara on your lashes, but this is your brows. So you can go backwards, or if you want, and create a more bold brow, or you can just take it with the strokes of your hair. But this, I like it. It's conditioning. It actually strengthens the hair that it does grab to, and it works really well. So that's the shade Light in the brow gel. And I'm not afraid to to bring my brows to life. I overplucked them in high school, that's for sure. Now I'm going to blend my concealer. So I'm using that same Better Blender sponge. It has all these different angles that you can put things, you can put your makeup on with. And I love the flat side. So I'll just go in with the little pointy flat side and just kind of stipple. Stippling means that you're pressing and patting and you're not rubbing. A lot of the times if we just rub our makeup, we're just wasting our makeup. We're just smearing it across our face and it's not staying exactly where we put it. And for me, that's good when I'm tapering it out, right? Like I'm taking the product that was on the inner corner and I'm tapering it out. But a lot of the times, like, especially with a concealer, you don't want to just spread that everywhere because it's typically lighter. And that's a tip I wanted to tell people. When it comes to getting concealers, you want to get 1 or 2 or maybe 3 shades lighter than your actual skin tone when it comes to your under eye area, because we all have darker skin underneath our eye. That is just totally human. And we have that thin skin. So you want to get shades lighter than your skin for under the eye area. And then if you do have hyperpigmentation, dark spots, or melasma, or anything else that you're trying to cover on the rest of your face, you get a concealer that is the same shade as your skin. So yes, all of that is concealer tips. Now, you can also use the same shade concealer and put it around where you have pigmentation. Like right here, I tend to just get red around the crease of my nose. So I'll take a different shade that's darker if I'm feeling fancy, and I'll put it right there on the side, and then just blend it right in. So that's my concealer. Oh, I could just talk all day about this. I got to hurry myself up. If anybody has questions, let me know.
So Mona said, which routine set would she recommend for dry skin? I'm looking at Counter Control regimen set.
Oh, Counter Control is not good for dry skin. Counter Control is good for acne prone. So the control word in there, like controls oil, controls acne. If you have dry skin, you want Counter Time. Counter Time is the most moisturizing line. That's what I was using. It's in the pink bottle. and it's what Amy uses for her eye cream. And that's what has the bakuchiol in it, the Ayurvedic herb and the Swiss Alpine rose. So that's your most moisturizing. The new cream that I was talking about, the Mighty Plump cream, it's a little less moisturizing than Countertime, but it's still really, really great. So that's a good moisturizer if you're just looking for moisture. But another key for keeping dry skin moisturized is to use serums. Use serums. They just do so much more than the creams alone. So if you layer a serum underneath your moisturizer, you will see better results for sure. So that's my big tip on that. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to put my blush on, and then you can ask if there's any other questions.
All right. If you guys have any other questions, now's the time that we can be asking Stacey. Let's see. Annette wants to know, how do you know what shade to pick from the website?
Yeah, when it comes to picking your foundation, you can 100% message me if you feel like you want more personalized assistance, but there is a shade finder on the website. So when you go to look for foundation, it will ask you questions about your undertones, what you're concerned with, and it will help match you. And I have not had anybody not happy with the shade finder. It's a really good tool, and it will help you find what you need. But again, I've been doing this for almost 8 years. So if you want to message me on Instagram or Facebook or email me, I'm sure you can find those links in the show notes, or just search Stacey Heiny and find me. I'm more than happy to help you with that. So yeah, I mean, and again, the shades are really nice and forgiving. Like, you're not going to look like orange. These are really good, cosmetics and skincare that don't give you crazy. You won't look crazy. They'll give you good results. So now I'm going to use a cream blush. Cream makeups, they're not for everybody. Some people don't feel comfortable with cream makeups. They're a little scary. They're totally different. But I do like creams. I like creams. Like, I used to be afraid of foundation because it would make me break out, because they were made with mineral oil and gross fragrances and stuff like that. But now I use foundation versus a powder, because as we age, we want to use more hydrating products. Now, you don't have to use a cream blush to keep your skin more hydrated, but it will give you a more hydrated look, a more dewy look. There's a brand called Crunchy that I also use, which there's a link down in the show notes for that.
And your process that you're doing with that brush while you're doing.
Oh yeah, let me tell you. I'm sorry, I'm just swiping it on. I'm kind of stippling. So I popped it into, this is the cream blush from Beauty Counter. I use also a powder blush from Crunchy on the days that I feel like using, a powder. Let me get that. Or sometimes I'll use two and create like an ombre cheek, like a kind of two-toned looking cheek to get fancy if I'm like on the news or something. But I love this one. Both of them are in eco-friendly packaging, which is awesome. But this one has an actual refillable container, and it has a mirror. And this is the shade Lychee. And I just take an angled blush brush, which you can find these on Amazon. Beauty Counter doesn't sell makeup brushes anymore, which I'm so sad about. This is like a 8-year-old brush. Like, they work so well. I wash my brushes very often with charcoal soap, and I take good care of them. But you got to get some brushes that you'll use years and years, but this is just an angled brush, and I pop it on, and I'm not like picky about which angle, but I will just kind of go like that. That's called stippling. I will press and move the product around. And I'm also not afraid at all to make my cheek look really bold, because at the end, I typically go over with a highlighter to buff everything out. And I'll show you guys that. As long as you don't kick me out right at 4 o'clock, because I know I'm talking so much.
I couldn't kick you out, Stacey.
Oh, thank you.
I'm having so much fun anyway.
Oh, thanks. I think it's so fun to watch people put makeup on sometimes. I'm like, oh, wow, that's totally different than that I've done. And I think it's fun. And it's fun to hang out, Amy. So, but this is refillable. I love this. I love this because there's 8 different shades of the blush, anywhere from Lychee to Rosebud, which is lighter, And you can use the cream blushes on your cheeks, your lips, and your eyes. So you can create like a monochromatic look. There's other shades like browns, like the truffle is really, really pretty. Chai is more of like a muted, like very neutral. So you just decide what shades you like. And then I keep it going up. So I don't go straight back. I kind of am generous right on the apple of my cheek, and then I go up, and like I have a kind of a funny line right here. You can't really see it on the camera, but I will buff that out with a highlighter in a minute here. That's just what I do. And there are a few different highlighters that I use, and I'll show you. And before we get off today, I want to show you some other brands, just in case people, for some reason, don't want to get Beauty Counter. I'll let you know some other brands out there that are clean and that I trust. I guess I could tell you one of them right now. Lawless is one of the brands. Lawless. I have a mattifying powder from them. I also have a mattifying powder from Crunchy and Beauty Counter. I think Beauty Counters is the best. I'm out of it. But Lawless has a little bit of a tint to it. And I do use this on the days that I want my concealer to really stay put. So I'll use a little bit of mattifying powder. Mattifying powder is typically just a translucent powder that sets your makeup. A lot of makeup artists will put mattifying powder like all over the skin after a makeup look is complete, or for excessively oily skin, people will put mattifying powder on before they put their foundation on, and it will act like it will pull in the hydrate. It will keep your face from looking oily. It will keep your face looking more matte. But I like to use a little bit of mattifying powder just with a brush underneath my eye area to set my concealer, to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. I also like to put it on top of my eyelid, especially if I have put concealer on it previously, so that it doesn't crease. The concealer doesn't crease. So that is another clean brand, Lawless. And I didn't link that, but you guys can find that if you wanted to. I don't have any other products from them, but
that stippling technique again, right?
Yeah, I do. I try to do that for everything, just because if I were to put it on and swipe, it would just pull the concealer away from where I put it, And that's another reason why I think that when everybody does their concealer, just put it on, even if you have it like dotted on, or if you put it on like drew it on, kind of like I did, leave it there and then let it sit for 15 seconds. And then, either take your fingers and lightly press it in, or use a better blender sponge or a brush to kind of just stipple it. That's like key. And you'll feel super awkward at first. You'll be like, oh my God, this is taking me so long. But like you'll get really good at it. And I can do my makeup in 5 minutes. Truly, I can. It doesn't take me a lot of time unless I'm talking. So,
unless Cohen is around.
Or yeah, oh God. Cohen tries to wear he's like, which color can I put on? He tries to put all my lip glosses on. And then of course his dad comes in, he's like, what is he doing? I'm like, hey, at least, hey, if he had a sister or something, he would be over here painting his nails and all that stuff. Yeah. So like, whatever, it's fine. He's sick. So let me talk about the other brand that I love that is, that has a highlighter. There's a powder highlighter and a cream highlighter that I love. So Crunchy is linked below. I like their powders. So I use their bronzer and I use their highlighter, and I do have their blush that's powder as well. But I'm going to show you a cream and a powder highlighter. I think everybody needs a highlighter. They're fun. They bring light to your face, and you can accentuate areas of your face that might not otherwise be prominent. So when I use a highlighter, I typically use a brush or my fingers, which I'll show you with the cream one. And this one, the powder can kind of fall out. It's like, it just kind of falls out, meaning that you kind of just want to hit your brush so that there's not too much on the brush. And then I always take a highlighter right here, right under my eye, kind of out to the tail of my brow, and go like that. And it deposits, you can see it, it deposits highlighter, which is made of mica. It's a mineral, by the way, totally safe mineral that makes all things shiny and shimmery. And fun fact, mica is one of the dirtiest parts of the beauty industry. And the reason why is because there's totally unfair working conditions that are happening in these mines, including tiny little children that are mining mica. Now, Beauty Counter has actually gone to every single mine that we get mica from and stopped sourcing mica from like 4 of them because they found unfair working conditions, and we will not put our money into that. And we've pressed for better regulation on that. So that's really, really awesome. Beauty Counter is not just here to help get people to buy beauty. Beauty Counter is here to advocate to get laws changed. And we have been part of getting 10 different laws passed in the last decade to fight for better personal care regulation, which we haven't even talked about. So that is my highlighter hack. I take it there. That was the powder, guys. That was a powder highlighter, but there's also, which I really should just be shouting this from the rooftops because this is free right now, just during Labor Day. If you're watching this right now, this one from Beauty Counter, which has the refillable container, so you can just keep your plastic container and get a refill when you run out. This is free when you purchase anything for $125. You can get any of the shades of the highlighters. There's 4 different shades, and you can apply them on your Cupid's bow, which I'll show you, on your upper cheekbone. So when the light hits your cheek, it lifts your face up right here at the tip of your nose, or you can use it as an eyeshadow. And these are free through Labor Day if you buy Beauty Counter 2023 Labor Day. For $125. Now, I use my finger when I'm using cream highlighters. And this is the shade Astro. It has more of a gold champagne tint. This is so hilarious trying to put this on in the camera. But as you can see, I already have that highlight from the powder one, but ooh, this just deposits even more. And it is so pretty. So highlighters go on top of your colors that you have created. So I do that. I do there, I do here. When you put it here on your Cupid's bow, it creates a more full lip, a more full top lip. So I just kind of go haphazardly up here, and then I'll put my lipstick on and you won't even be able to notice. But again, you can apply that on your eye.
He said, ooh.
Yeah, I do that. Ooh.
Ooh,
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, you can put highlighters. You can use little tiny brushes. Oh, where'd it go? Little tiny brushes like this, really itty bitty brushes, and use it right here on the inner corner of your eye. And it really opens it up. It's kind of hard to see, but because I'm not in the natural light, but yeah, there's a bronzy one. There's a champagne gold one that I'm using right now called Astro. There's a white one called Lunar that I love, right here. And then there's like a more blush colored one. So these are really fun. They're not super, super pigmented. They are cream, they're translucent, they're pretty, they're hydrating, and they give you that dewy look. And they're really fun. And these are, again, if you spend $125 by Labor Day, if you're watching this, you get lucky, you'll get one of these for free, which is so, so fun. It's like a $44 highlighter. So I think it's worth it. All right, we'll finish this look up, Amy, and then we can.
Yeah, I like how you used it in the corner of the eye where some people get those shadows.
Yeah, the shadows
reflecting the light a little bit.
Right. And during our conference that just passed, there was a makeup artist showing that he takes highlighter all the way, kind of exactly where you would put eye cream. He goes right here, just right underneath the brow. Like eye cream you would put up on the brow, but right underneath the brow, and he takes it in a C shape, and that really just opens the eye, especially when sunlight hits it. So that's a really fun thing to do. I'm going to have two more products that I'm going to put on, maybe 3. This is more than the Flawless in 5. Sorry, I took it farther than the Flawless in 5, guys. This is
Well,
a
Moni
brand
says,
new.
I love watching the demo. So I think
Yay!
everybody's
I love watching people put makeup on. Like, I mean, it's not something that I get to do all the time, but when I was really nauseous for the first like 25 weeks of pregnancy, which was a long 25 weeks, I watched a lot of people put their makeup on, and I was just really entertained. So this is the brand new vegan satin lipstick, and I sent Amy our other vegan lipstick. It's amazing, called the Sheer lipstick. It's more of a tinted chapstick. It's not chapstick, but it is a lipstick, but I wouldn't say it's a long wearing lipstick. Its feel is very hydrating. It's made with Madagascar vanilla bean, another ingredient that is not regulated in the beauty industry, vanilla. Most of it's totally gross vanilla, or not real. And this is a more, yeah, I sent you a really bright color. Yes, it's a magnetic closure.
Oh, how cool is that? I don't know.
It doesn't, yeah, right. And it's made from post-consumer recycled plastic, which is cool. The container is, but yeah, it's magnetic, so that if you put it in your purse or something, it doesn't open, which is
exactly
so nice. Yeah, all the little things. But I'm putting on, this is the shade Independent. And I don't know, it's like a mauve, I think. It's like a light mauve. It's neutral, has a little bit of a pink undertone, and it has a good tip, as you can see. And a lot of people use the tip as their lip liner. Now, I have a few other shades because this is a brand new lipstick, like brand new. So I haven't gotten all the shades yet. But I have some more really brightly colored ones, so I can't wait to wear those during the holiday season and line my lips with them. But some people line and then they'll turn it around and use the flat end and go on. Now, you can totally use your finger on your lips like makeup artists do and just press and pat. When it comes to my lips, I swipe. I'm a swiper when it comes to my lips, because I'm gonna eat and I'm not gonna I'm gonna have to reapply it, you know what I mean? Like, so it's not like, oh, this won't move. Like, this will move. Once I eat lunch or dinner, I'll have to reapply it. It doesn't stain your lips like those lip stains out there do. But this one is more matte, the new Satin Maker. And it is in these really cool rectangular containers. So all of the containers are really cool with our lipsticks. I love them. But what I love to do when it comes to our lipstick is also apply a lip gloss. So there's different options for lip gloss. There's a shimmer or there's just a shine. Shines don't have any mica in them. They're just pigmented. Mica, again, makes things shimmer. Or you can get the shimmers, and it does make it more glittery, if you will, but it's not gaudy glitter. It's like tiny itty bitty glitter that you can't notice is actual glitter. So I will put this is the shade Clove as we kind of head into fall. I like to put a gloss on my lip, on top of my lipstick. It just amplifies. Glosses are not typically going to be highly pigmented. They will give you a hue, but they're not going to give you like a bold lip. Typically, you're going to want to wear a lipstick underneath it if you want a really bold lip. And then to finish off, I do my mascara. I have 2 brands of mascara that I love. I've tried most of the clean beauty brands. I love Beauty Counters. It's amazing. I'm going to put that one on today. But I also do like Milk Makeup brand. Now, there's not milk in it, but there is actually hemp oil in it, which helps helps condition your lashes. So this one that I use by Milk Makeup is another cleaner brand. They don't go above and beyond when it comes to like packaging and eco-consciousness and ingredient sourcing like Beauty Counter does. But they do have some good performing products. I have tried their, maybe their concealer or something when I ran out of my other one before. But I like this one because it's really fat. Like the brush is really fat and creates like a really voluminous lash. I don't use this very often at all. It's only if I want my lashes to be like extra without wearing like a fake lash, which I've only done once in my life. But this one from Beauty Counter is awesome because it has this wand that is not big and fat, and you can navigate your eye without getting the mascara on your eyelid, which I'm definitely known for doing. And what I do with my mascara, this is the tip that I share with everyone, is I don't wipe the stuff at the end of my bottle. I just simply get the mascara on, and you don't pump it either. You don't want to do that really fast with the bottom of it. That creates air pockets in it, and it dries out your mascara faster. So I just swirl the wand, get product on the brush, and there's product at the tip of this brush. Most people would swipe that on the inside of their bottle, but I leave it on, and this takes some getting used to, but I go to the base of my eyelash, base of my eyelid, and, you know, origin of my eyelashes, and I will focus there with the product that was on the edge of the brush and kind of move it around. And then I'll take the brush horizontally and wiggle and move that product outward toward the tip of my lashes. So I highly suggest that you do the same and disperse the mascara like that. It takes some getting used to, but it really gives results. So that is one coat of the Think Big mascara from Beauty Counter. It's amazing. So, and this has peptides in it, which lengthen and strengthen your lashes over time. So good. Yeah.
Wow. And that's such a great technique, because I learned that you should take from where the hair grows and pull out and kind of like roll. And it's always,
yeah, you can do that too. Yeah.
But I think that by using it, it's like you're dipping paint in a
right
brush from the base.
Exactly. Yeah, and it kind of creates like an eyeliner look, you know, without having to wear eyeliner. So that's just how I do it. It definitely takes some time to get used to, but I just wanted to give those tips for you where you don't pump the brush in there. That'll dry it out. And yeah, you can definitely twirl the brush up and do that. That will kind of curl your lashes at the same time. But I like how this brush is like, I can easily navigate my eye without getting my lashes all clumpy and stuff. It's like a fine enough wand that it works for my eye shape. So yeah, that is my look. Oh my gosh, I finally got it done, you guys. Is there anybody else that's still watching?
Jessie T's watching. She said, gorgeous.
Oh, thank you, Jessie. So that is clean beauty. And what does clean beauty mean? Clean beauty means not just the ingredients, but also eco-consciousness, advocating, switching the industry to a safer place so that you can get results, right? And like get results like safety-wise and, you know, for our future and for the planet. So it's a lot more than just products.
Wow. We learned so much from you today.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we didn't get to any of the true or false, but
we were going to play a game of true or false because of, you know, I talk to my Green Warriors a lot about how if you eat processed foods, which I do not, but there are sometimes if you want to buy something in the package that you should read, not the nutrition facts, but you should read the ingredients. And if there's an ingredient on there, usually if there's more than one, it's, as far as food goes, there's going to be something that isn't good. But you need to look at ingredients on skincare, but we're still trying to figure out how to read ingredients on food. And now we have to figure out the skincare too. You
brought up a really good point. So that's why, I mean, the easiest way is to find people like myself that you can ask, and that have done the vetting process when it comes to finding safer brands. But also to find those safer brands and to make sure that you're supporting those safer brands, because if you vote with your dollar. Now, how do you find the safer brands though? How do you know what you're using is safe? My favorite thing to tell people to do, regardless if you want to buy Beauty Counter or not, use Beauty Counter as your path to understanding more about this. Beauty Counter is an amazing blog all about ingredients and advocacy and stuff like that. But if you just Google Beauty Counter, which is all one word, Beauty Counter Never List, okay? If you look at the modified Never List, which is currently 1,800 ingredients that are banned from personal care, there's a modified version, and it will show you the top offenders that you want to avoid, like parabens and mineral oil and fragrances and EDT and polyethylene glycol. Like there are top offenders that you can easily turn your label around at the store and see, oh, that's on the Never List, I'm not going to get that, you know. Or, oh, there's only one bad ingredient, it's not as bad as the one that I was using, right? Like, or less than desirable ingredient. So the Never List on Beauty Counter is very helpful. The EWG also does have a good database of cleaner beauty. So
working group, which is
yes, the environmental working group.
About organic, which foods that we should buy organic if we have to make a choice.
Right. So that will give a grade, and I will say all Beauty Counter products are EWG approved, which is awesome. And they're Leaping Bunny certified, so we're never testing on animals. And there's definitely some things in the EWG database that I've questioned. Like they've let some things that have fragrance in them, but they still give them a rating of the risk. So they'll tell you if there's allergens in there, carcinogenic ingredients in there, or hormone disrupting ingredients, and it will give you a grade or a number. So you want to try to stay at a 3 or below. So it will give a number of 1 to 10 of the safety. So that's one thing that you can look into as a tool to try to find safer personal care and household products. So yeah. And when it comes to, I think fragrance, Amy, I think that as we kind of close this up, like I feel like I'm taking so much of your time, so thank you. Good. So fragrance, woo, that is like the easiest thing that you can eliminate. So here's the deal. When it comes to fragrance, that is the umbrella term that can literally mean like 3,500 chemicals that can harm your health. Though fragrance is typically where parabens and phthalates, which are major hormone disruptors, that's where they lie under fragrance. Because currently in the beauty industry, which Beauty Counter is trying to lobby to get this loophole closed, we're trying to get the fragrance loophole closed. But until we do that, I would highly suggest that people just don't buy things that say fragrance or perfume or eau de toilette unless there's an asterisk by it and it tells you all of the things that are in it. That is very important because you will be able to identify, oh, it says phthalate. Oh, it says paraben. Like, you know, if it actually showed you all the things that were in that fragrance, you would at least be able to identify those and not use it. Fragrance is just, it's a slippery slope. Yeah. So I'm really excited because Beauty Counter is actually coming out with their own clean fragrance next month, and I'm just excited about it. I don't personally wear perfume, but I know a lot of people that do, and a lot of my friends are still not using cleaner, safer fragrances, which there are out there. You just need to know what you're using.
Yeah. And that's what it is. When you know more, you do more.
That's right.
You know, when I first adopted this lifestyle, I thought that was a lot of things for me to learn just about this lifestyle and the food that I eat. And then, you know, I started to think about the other things, and I'm learning from you too. So I really want to thank you, Stacey.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Sharing your expertise and your passion with us, hair and makeup. And
Thank you.
I'm going to, all your contact information and all the things we were talking about are going to be in the show notes. And I'm going to give you an opportunity to talk about that too. But before I ask you to share what you do and how we can find you, we do have a giveaway for the book, The Plant Powered Dog, and the Brocco Boost that Diana had offered as well. And I don't know if you've ever been on my broadcast when I did a book giveaway, but it's a lot of fun. And that's what we're going to do right now. So put that on the screen. Just make sure I've got it in the right here. And let's see if it goes there. There it is. Okay. So we're going to spin the wheel.
So fun.
Who wins? Oh, Joseph, congratulations. You won the Plant Powered Dog and the Brocco Boost. So that's a lot of fun. I'm really happy for you and congratulations to you. That was really great. That was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Okay. Well, why don't everybody please click like and show your appreciation for what Stacey shared with us today. And Stacey, tell us what you do and how we can find you.
Yeah, so I'm a plant-based coach and nutritionist, and I have a monthly community membership called Holistic Wellness Society for women that want to take their health back and shift their mindsets and have the tools and resources that they need to feel better and to show up, so that they can change the world one day at a time. So I do that. And then I also do Beauty Counter. I share clean beauty. I help to support women that want to do the same. And I really appreciate any type of support that you guys have. I also have a YouTube channel. I'm active on social media. So come hang out with me and feel free to ask me any questions if you ever have questions about products that you're bringing into your home or any of that. And of course, if you do want any clean beauty, I'm here to help you on that. It says my phone is getting warm, so I'm going to move back here and hope that my phone doesn't die.
Okay, well, let's hope it doesn't die. All right. Well, yeah. I wanted to also thank everybody that's watching, the Green Warriors. Thank you so much for watching. And what's your take-home message, Stacey, for our what I remember today was about the brightening facial oil. Now that I can do the gua sha routine, so that's gonna be fun. Everybody type in the comments what you're going to remember, and then Stacey, tell us what your final take-home message is for our Green Warriors.
Oh, I love this. Well, my typical advice would just be to remember that this is a journey to wellness, and all the little decisions that you make every single day do make a difference. But I think my top takeaway for today, specifically, since we're talking beauty, is to never forget your serums. Your serums really will make a difference for you. So trust me on that.
I also want to thank Just Tat's Voice. She did the promos. Just Tat's Voice, who's coming up next?
Did you know that what you eat and how you exercise can determine how well you walk? Learn the best foods and movements with physical therapist and nutrition educator Eileen Kopsoftis on Wednesday, September 6th, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific on Be Green with Amy Live.
And as I said, thank you to all of you Green Warriors. Go to my website, begreenwithamy.com/join, and I will send you 5 free, hey, I can make that recipes. And I hope that you'll also join me with Stacey as I do my sign off with my tagline. Stacey, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Until I see you guys again, remember, be strong, be well, and be
green.
Green. Thanks so much, Stacey. Thank you, Green Warriors.
Thank you, Amy. Bye. Take care, everyone.
Now you can listen to Be Green with Amy expert interviews wherever you go. Listen while walking, meal prepping, or traveling. Find Be Green with Amy on Apple, Google, Alexa, Amazon, or virtually anywhere you find podcasts. Be strong, be well, and be green with Be Green with Amy.